you keep doing this, slowly that guilt, that cognitive dissonance, meaning your beliefs, your attitudes are disconnected from the actions that you're doing.
True.
It's so you feel disassociated from yourself.
We all try to fit in, freshmen, try to fit with the group.
Yeah.
And it just hurt us. Like, we always feel that.
We get lost.
We got lost. We just, joined the herd,
Yeah.
Straight up.
But we all learned, alhamdulillah, throughout high school. And I feel like not just us, a lot of people learned too.
How can I look to Allah, the one who brought me to this world to worship Him, the one who gave me life,
Gave you your loved ones,
gave me all my experiences, to guide me the right way, even if I thought that.
I feel that, bro.
You feel me? Even if I thought that going the wrong way was right.
Assalamu alaikum. You guys are tuning in to an episode of Talk Ya Haqq. I got my brothers Jabril and Abdi.
What's going on?
Hello.
Hey, it's been a minute, huh?
Been a minute, famo.
Subhanallah, bro. Subhanallah. How y'all been, bro? How about?
Alhamdulillah. I'm doing good. This finals week. It's been stressful.
How about you, fams?
God is good.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Hey, what y'all been up to, man? Update us with y'all lives.
Man, this finals, bro. Like this past week,
Yeah.
it's been finals, but alhamdulillah, I got used to like how college works while I was in high school. Like I did this Running Start program,
Right.
and to all the youth that's listening that's in high school, I'm gonna recommend you guys to do Running Start because it not only prepares you, but I feel like it's easier than high school. You know, you guys know this, the schedule with college and everything.
Yeah.
It's just so easy going. It's 3 classes. Like, you can take it some in the afternoon. It's just so nice.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. If you're in high school, y'all, hey, juniors and seniors, use that as an advantage. Wallahi, save yourself some tuition money, some stress, and get out of school faster. Hey, how about you? How about you, brother?
Me, I've been traveling a little bit. When I say travel, I've just been going to Minnesota.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, yeah?
Did a lot of adventuring. I went snowboarding.
Yes, sir. I got to do that too.
Snowboarding was it's very bruising. I'll tell you guys that.
I seen that clip.
Yeah.
We might have to show that on the podcast.
It's
Hey, bro,
not,
send me. Actually, I'm going to make a little edit.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. I fell so many times.
Oh, my God.
But alhamdulillah, I was, everything's going good. I didn't go to winter quarter, but I signed up for spring.
Okay.
Just wanted to focus on working a lot more, helping the family out. So alhamdulillah,
especially these stressful COVID times.
COVID times. So I just been doing that.
Bro, now is the best time to travel. And alhamdulillah, that you're going to California today. He's about to go to California today. How do you feel about that?
I'm not going today, but I'm going tomorrow morning. So yes.
Oh yeah.
By the time this might be uploading,
you're gonna be in California.
Yeah,
maybe you might just be coming back right after that.
Yeah, so I might have just be,
it's a beautiful experience.
Sunshine, about to get a little tan on me. Even though I'm dark skin, brown. I don't know if you can get a tan. Okay.
Hey, I think you can, bro. You're gonna get a little bit darker, like Little Hershey.
Oh, hey,
who knows, man?
Little Hershey with
You
caramel.
might turn to a Black Panther.
There you go.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
But alhamdulillah. What about you, man?
Bro, alhamdulillah, bro. Man, I've been busy, bro. Juggling a lot. Me and my brother attended UW Bothell, so alhamdulillah, bro. It's been interesting. This is my first quarter at Bothell. UW, I was freaked out, because, when I applied straight out of high school, I got rejected, so I was intimidated by how rigorous the courses might be. So when I got my A at Bellevue, I said, okay, this is going to be tough going to UW. But alhamdulillah, man, Allah is great. It went smooth, you know what I'm saying? So, mashallah, bro. Besides that, personal life, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. Busy. I'm going to just say that. Yeah, busy. Okay, but look, we got this podcast, Talk Ya Haqq, that we just kind of left alone. And I definitely feel like, bro, I was just talking to Jabril, and I was like, man, there's so much that we need to be talking about.
Yeah.
And we have this platform. We already kickstarted it.
Yeah.
Man, let's do something with it.
And the thing was, I felt like we didn't really quit it. It was just the idea of like finding out our availability and also finding out what's really more important to talk about, where we connect with you, the audience, and also connect with, and having that like mutual understanding and also advising each other and also advising them,
Right. And I think we're learning a lot, bro, about just a lot of different skills and basically a lot about what our direction we want to take with this podcast. As we recorded more episodes, just we had a general idea, but I think as we progress, we're having more and more of an idea.
True.
And I think right now, bro, the passion is coming from giving to the youth what we wish we had.
Yeah,
in terms of message, topics, things that are taboo.
Facts.
So, guys, I hit y'all up with this deep topic, right?
Yes, sir.
And we're going to introduce the topic. The topic is called War from Within, right? This internal war.
Yeah.
Jihad al-nafs, you know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
And is striving for the sake of Allah against our own inclinations and our desires. Now, when I told you about this topic, just tell me, what was your gut reaction? I just want to get that and share it with the audience.
Oh man, I saw it as like a very powerful topic, like one that I was actually excited to talk about, because Allah created us as one of the creatures that have free will, right?
Right.
And in that, we have these desires. And what makes us either the best of creatures that Allah has created, or the worst is how we use that free will. We can either worship Allah, without even seeing, just knowing, just taking from the signs that He gave us, and abstaining from our desires, our natural desires that we've been given with, and saying, no, I fear Allah, and I want to live a life within the limits of what Allah has given me.
Yeah.
And so doing that is what, like, just talking about our desires and, knowing, understanding your beliefs is what, can make you a better person. I feel like that would be beneficial to everybody.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
For
you,
me,
man?
I would also say I kind of have to agree with him,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you also got to understand there people who deal with that internal, struggle. You also got understand from where do they come from and what background and what actually made them either go in that direction or what's making them fight that direction. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everybody has their own story.
Right.
At the end of the day, nobody has the same story.
Facts.
So it's that's where I'm trying to understand. So I'm share a little bit of my internal struggles that I've had. Hopefully you guys are at the same time too, where we both all of us can talk with the audience, and then also the audience can also respond or text us or whatever it is they need to do, to actually be like, oh, I'm going through the same thing. How did you deal with it? Oh, this is the way I'm dealing with it.
Facts.
And then also help each other, you know what I'm saying? Help each other to work towards beating our internal desires, whether it's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because internal desires can also be a good thing. Most people forget that.
Yeah, it just depends on
what it is you're doing.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, bro, I feel you, bro. It was someone who actually, someone that's so dear to me that mentioned this topic, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I would love for you guys to talk about this, right, and Talk Ya Haqq, because it's very relevant. And I was like, whoa. Just ding, I was like, oh, this needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And also, bro, one of my things taboo. We're gonna talk some taboo, some things that are often not talked about in the Muslim community or the Somali community. So this is that platform. So inshallah, just be ready for that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna jump straight into it, right? What is this? What is this topic of desires? I mean, we some guys, right? We live out here in America. What are some of the desires that we see often, right? Just let's talk about what we're observing right now. Let's talk about what we live. I see a lot of the times, right, besides the obvious, right, is drug abuse, right? People start smoking or popping pills or whatever. I see that being a thing, or even some people drinking.
Yeah.
So this is a desire, inclination I see people acting upon.
Yeah.
How about y'all?
I would say, we keeping the raw, we finna keep it Talk Ya Haqq,
Hey, let them know.
One thing is pornography. To be honest with you, that is one thing that a lot of youth, struggle with, and especially nowadays, a lot of the youths are introduced to pornography at the age of 13. That's very, very young.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, those are definitely very big ones.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, I think one of them would be unhealthy eating choices. Picking something that is not good for you over something that's healthy for you.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I tossed in another one. Women. You mentioned pornography. There's another angle to that. Women, the fitna of women, and people doing zina or getting close to zina. I see this often.
Okay.
And let's talk a little bit about what makes people
Can I add one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna add one more because you can also see it as two ways, either one way or the other.
Because we want as much as possible. We're gonna dive into it.
Social media.
Ooh.
Yep.
I like that because we just talked about that.
Yeah. I feel like social media, it has its pros and cons.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying, and since we live in the 21st century, what is the one thing that everybody's on?
Yeah.
Facts.
Social media, Netflix, all the entertainment, video games. All these are
just consuming.
Yeah.
All these, what do? They give you dopamine. They give you most of the time superficial dopamine.
Yeah.
As with social media, you guys all seen that documentary, Social Dilemma.
I think we even talked a little about that on the podcast.
Yeah. And also like to give you like an example of mine,
Right.
Like for me, I felt like social media like kept me away from getting closer to Allah.
Why is that?
I would say it's because the amount of time that I spend on social media, I could have been spending on either reading Quran, getting my prayer right, learning about the deen a lot more. You know what I mean?
Facts.
All those times spending that time, I'm on Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I use it for my internal desire to distract me from the truth. You feel me?
It sounds like I love that word distraction. Like, I mean, I don't love it for what it is, but I love the fact that you mentioned that a lot of these desires, not only are they like detrimental and self-sabotaging, they feel so good, right? But these things, they are a distraction.
True.
It kind of distracts you either from your purpose, you're getting close to Allah, or what you need to be doing. And I love that you mentioned that. Do you guys want to expand upon that?
It's scary.
Very true.
What do we do when we came here last time and did this? We all checked our screen time, right?
Right.
I think mine was like 5 hours at a time. It's probably 6 hours now.
Yeah.
I need to take my own advice and organize my time schedule. But when you think about it, how long are we awake, really? There's 24 hours in a day. You're asleep, what?
8 hours.
8 hours. You go on the screen time, what does it say? 5, 6 hours. Some people 8, 9.
Facts.
Like, that's the
11.
whole day.
Yep.
You think about it, I'm like,
Take
whoa.
away eating, using the bathroom. What are we doing with that time?
And the crazy thing is, here's the trippy part, right? When you leave all the stuff or when you try to delete an app, say an app you use most of the time, like here's what I recommend you guys to do. And it's going to trip a lot of you guys out. Go on your screen time, look at the app you use most. For me, it was YouTube. Delete that app. You're going to see not only that you're addicted to it, if you leave it, and you're going to feel tripped out by how much free time you have that you're not going to know what to do. He's going to be like, well, all right, you should go on YouTube now. What do I do?
Yeah, you just be scrolling your home screen just side to side.
Yeah.
Where's YouTube at?
Because usually, like when you don't do what you usually do, you tend to find yourself like,
habits.
Like you just confused. Like, so usually, like you just said, I usually do this. So what is there to do for me right now? You know what I mean? You have that self-lost where you're like, yeah, I'm going to just download the app again. Sorry.
And that's the challenge where you can do. So you can either download the app, like I did, which is I probably should try deleting it again.
Or you can fill that time with something.
Yeah, delete that app, fill in the time with reading the Quran.
Yeah.
Take that bad habit, create a new one for your brain, and be like, oh, okay, one that's positive for you.
Yeah.
And YouTube, it can be positive, but let's be honest. We have a recommended list. We have an algorithm that is pointed and designed to interest you. Some videos you see like what's it called, man flies off a mountain or something like that, not dying, like the wingsuit. Some kind of thing that interests you. That's an example. And it constantly grabs your attention.
And we mentioned this, guys, the whole social media, and if you guys are interested, please go ahead, click on that episode. We talked about that for a whole hour. But I love how you guys mentioned social media, because that is a facet of desires and distraction. But let's talk about some of the things, man, we really haven't talked about. You know what I'm saying? So let's break it down, because we're not just gonna skip over what Abdi and we was mentioning, right? Let's start off with these two taboo subjects: the desire of women, right, and pornography. This is an epidemic amongst young men. I don't know about the women. That's between you guys, but I do know, because I'm a brother out here and I can see brothers out here. It is tough. We live in a hypersexualized society.
Very true.
You feel me? And I feel like this this society cultivates shamelessness, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking from a high horse, but I'm talking from experience. And we're not kind of shown another way.
Yeah.
You know? Do you know what I'm talking about on that?
Honestly, like, be honest, right?
Mm.
With like high school and college and all that stuff,
Right.
they have this norm.
Mm.
If you don't do this, or you're a lame person, or you're not
Facts.
cool, or you're not, you know.
Facts.
So
But-
you have these expectations met for you, like, and at the end of the day, we live in a place where we're, you know, we're diverse, different ethnicity, different religions, all that stuff. So you go to a high school where you have all that stuff,
Mm.
and I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't the type of guy who really hung out with a lot of Muslim brothers, you know,
Facts.
at all, because I everybody really knows I didn't really have no Somali friends until my senior year.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
Like someone who I would say I would hang out with every day. We would go kick it every day. It wasn't that. It was more of like, if I see you at school and you're Somali, what's up, bro? How you doing? Da da da.
Yeah, yeah.
Move on.
Straight up.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I was those type of kids.
Mm.
So me hanging out with kids who don't really have that same belief as me, where you don't commit all this stuff or you don't do all this stuff.
Mm.
They expect certain things from you. They expect you to be at the same level of doing these things. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And if you don't do it, you're the odd man out.
Mm.
And nobody really, and to be honest,
Mm.
nobody wants to be that odd
Nobody
man out.
fear of missing out. FOMO.
Boom.
Mm.
So I feel like that is the one thing when it comes to especially women.
Mm.
You know, now these days, oh, bro, you didn't talk to no female? Oh, you're lame, bro. What are you doing? You're scared.
Mm.
You're not a man.
Mm.
You feel me? So all
So
this
now
stuff
you're
being
getting
said to
degraded
you, yeah,
because you're not partaking in those activities.
exactly.
You have something to say on that, bro?
No, that's 100%. Like, this is one of the things that, like, oh man, like you get in, especially in middle school, high school,
Yeah.
they'll teach you, oh, you didn't get your first kiss. Like, alhamdulillah,
Mm.
my family, bro, and like a lot of people I know, we abstain from this. Like, to us,
Yeah.
like we try to abstain this from our whole life, right?
True.
But over at school and stuff like that, it's a social
Yeah.
construct that, what's it called? Like you're a weirdo if you don't have your first kiss. You know,
Yeah.
you're weird if you don't go to prom.
Yeah.
You're weird if you don't do
You're
this
not
certain
messing
things,
with
you know?
females. You're not entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, it's just you protecting your chastity and holding tight to your deen. You
You
know?
feel me? And I give props to people who do that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Let
Mashallah.
me tell you something, bro. Wallahi, I'm gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
Is that I embrace being that person, bro. I
Yeah.
embrace being that person. People look at it like I can't figure him out.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I'm not living for other people.
Yeah.
No matter what people say,
Yeah.
I talked to y'all earlier about this, but like
Mhm.
I have a vision of myself. I have an expectation of myself.
Yeah.
Right, and I hold myself to a certain standard. No
Yeah.
matter who is influencing me. If you're influencing me for negative direction,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at you and say, nah, I'm not with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like I told you, I have a vision of my best version of myself.
Yeah.
Right, one that looks one type of way, and one that looks one type of way.
Mm-hmm.
One is doing what everybody is doing. One is doing whatever he feels like doing, and the other one's saying, nah, I'm gonna sacrifice what's in front of me for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act on behalf of what I feel is morally upright,
Yeah.
not feeding the low desire.
You know?
Yeah.
You
And
see what I'm saying?
for one thing, I would say I commend people who do that, because it takes a
It's hard.
strong person to be
But
like,
it's
you know what?
experience.
I'm not gonna deal with this, little things y'all doing, because that's not me. I know myself. I know what I want, and I know where I want to go.
Mhm.
You doing that, I'm gonna step away. If you really want to do, that's totally up to you.
But the thing is, you weed out. When you do that,
Yeah,
you weed out in your life who's for you and who's against you.
you do that.
It naturally happens. But when you're doing what everybody's doing, you doing every move.
Yeah,
You can't tell foe from enemy, foe from friend.
true.
You can't do that because everyone looks the same in your
You
circle.
feel me? Exactly.
But if you look at somebody and they're cultivating you and they're making you, they're pushing you to be the best version of yourself.
True.
Don't let go of that person.
You feel me? So you never know
100%.
that you have snakes in your grass
And when
until
you
you cull them.
And when you have people call, go ahead, bro.
In high school, especially, man, like I feel like this is a lesson that everybody learned, is that to prioritize your difference and feel great about your differences.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
a lot of us try to fit in high school. Abdi, you mentioned like how you didn't have like a Somali friends
Yeah.
at that time,
Mm.
and we all try to fit in, freshmen, try to fit with the group,
Yeah.
and it just hurt us. Like we always feel that
get lost.
we got lost. We just like joined the herd, you know.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But we all learned, alhamdulillah, throughout high school, and I feel like not just us, a lot of people learned.
True.
And if you didn't learn, I hope that you learned that, what's it called, or you learn soon that you don't need to fit in, and that you need to express your differences, because not only will you love yourself more, but people will also love you for that.
Facts.
Like I remember Dennis was out here wearing a mawis to school.
Yeah.
I wore more than that. Hey,
He did not care. And then I was like, you know what? Like growing up, this is what I love about being the youngest, is you get to see like you get to learn from those that's older, not just from your brothers, but your older cousins.
Yeah.
You get to learn from the mistakes and the good things that they do.
Yeah.
You know, and that you can use that to maneuver.
Yeah.
I seen him did this. You know, like mashallah, I'm like, I see him embracing who he was.
Yeah.
And
also finding who I am.
Finding who he was.
Yeah.
And that is what motivated me to do the same.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate my dean and what's it called? You know, wear a kameez to school. And so people would just stare at me in the bus like, and well, at first I was like, you know, I was like, well, you know, I felt awkward about it. But then I felt great about it. I'm like, alhamdulillah, I'm the different person.
Yeah.
I'm a Muslim on this train. I'm a Muslim in this school. It's a reaffirming identity.
You know what's crazy? You know? I'm be honest with you. You know what's crazy? When you do different things, you yourself start to question yourself. But did you ever think about what those people question you? Because you know what? That's something interesting I learned is you may question yourself and like, damn, this is what they think about me. Oh, I this. But in all honesty, if you really truly think about it, I promise you and I guarantee you this, what they're thinking is, man, that guy's different.
Yeah.
He's doing something that we don't do.
Yeah, but and can I add this on top of this, bro? Human nature, I love human nature, bro, because it's fascinating. Oftentimes, bro, we think when people are looking at us, it's called spotlight. Spotlight. We think we the center. Everybody is just as consumed in their own lives as we are. Yeah. That's the nature. Yeah. So we often feel insecure or whatever, navigating our life. No, live your truth. Talk Ya Haqq. Live your truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And whoever don't vibe with that, they're not supposed to be in your circle anyway.
That's how you weed them out.
That's how you do it. Yeah. You live, you embody who you are, and you find out who you are, and you walk that with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by your side. Yeah. And I love the fact that we're talking about this because your companions, who you have. Yeah. I'm a very low-key person. You might see me on social media, but I'm very low-key. Abdi knows about that. Those who have in my immediate circle is because I have them in my circle for a reason. Yeah. You know, I don't have just everybody willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? So, because that's protecting your energy. That's protecting your focus. Because often, a lot of people are distracted. And that wears off on you. Yeah. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ even told us about this, right? About having good companions. Yeah. Because whoever is doing wrongdoing, that rubs off on you. Yeah. Yep. And whoever's doing good doing, Jabril over here, he'll say, let's go to the masjid. And I'm saying, I'm coming with you to the masjid. Having a brother or a friend who's saying, let's go, it's time to pray. Or whoever wakes you up for salah. Yeah. Cherish that person because not only are they cultivating you in this dunya, they're cultivating for something greater, which is the akhirah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just the truth. So, I mean, yeah, man, just the topic of having good friends, y'all. And if y'all listening, I mean, sometimes you gotta cut people out. I mean, love them, respect them, keep in touch, but like, don't allow them to take you where they're going.
100%. Like, you know this. What's the saying about friends? You are who your friends are. And I was like, I believe that, but I'm like, I always thought like, the people I know, like the people I talk to, I'm like, you know, maybe they won't rub off of me. You know, they won't rub off. You know, they have a lot of them good qualities, but some of them they have bad qualities, right? And in weeding them out, you find out like at first, like my senior high school, I was like, I felt like like the bad friends I had would not rub off on me, you know. And then sometimes I realized that it would be in my character, like some things that I would hear or some what's it called, jokes that they make, I would portray that or I would say that, and I was just like, whoa, did I just say that, or did I just? It just freaks me out sometimes, you know. Yeah. And what's it called? That just goes to show you have to cleanse your circle, distance yourself. You know, keep a distance. You can still, you know, keep on Snapchat, say what's up, acquaintances. You know, but to say they are your friend, make that your circle. The people in your circle, that is your friend. That is your friends. And have those people only uplifting you. And can I add also? Yeah. Wallahi, when you choose that path, it is a lonely road. Not many people on that road.
self-improvement, self-discovery, self-growth. That is going contrary to the stream. Your desires, it's your inclinations. You already want to do it, so you're going with the flow. But when you say, I'm not going to do that, I'm pushing against it, you're going upstream. That automatically means that there are less people going against it than there are people going with it.
Okay.
So finding those companions, finding those people, it is a lonely road.
Yeah.
So you have to embrace that. And how you embrace that is knowing that you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you have a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,
Yeah.
that helps you keep you upright. So, I mean, let's keep talking about the topic of, desires and all this stuff. Guys, those brothers who are struggling with women, or people who are struggling with drug addiction or pornography addiction.
Yeah.
This is an epidemic. And I don't really have a right to talk about addiction. You need a counselor for that, right? But what I mean, if you're going to give someone, like, what would you say regarding this topic? Women, pornography. There's a whole lot to say.
Yeah.
But let's dedicate some time, guys, because this is taboo. Nobody, I mentioned it before, but we didn't really go into it.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this for a bit.
Okay.
Because people are going to benefit. It's going to be uncomfortable because, guys, we don't want to do this. Wallah, this is weird. But we're going to talk about it because it needs to be talked about. But
Yeah.
Who wants to start off on this?
Let's talk about pornography.
Mm.
That itself, it's a different thing.
Mm.
You feel me? Like, I'm
Facts.
be honest with you. I remember my 6th grade teacher, my language arts teacher, right?
Mm.
Her kids, you know what she did to them?
Mm.
So her Wi-Fi, had restrictions
Mm.
in the house.
Right.
I didn't know you could do that. In all honesty, I did not know you could do that. I remember she was telling us, she was like, my kids, they get 2 hours of internet time with restrictions of what they could watch and not.
MashaAllah.
You know? Literally.
She's on that.
She was not playing. You know? And then, to be quite frankly, I find it shocking the fact that 13-year-old kids start watching pornography. You feel me? That is
It's probably sooner, bro. 13. That was
Yeah.
probably like our era.
right.
Yeah.
Now there's kids who are getting phones. 6, 7 years old getting phones.
That's the thing. And
Tablets. 3
one
years
thing-
old. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
One thing, I had a discussion with my little sister. She's 11 years old. I had a discussion with her. I was like, so what are kids like in your school? Keep in mind she's elementary school, right?
Right.
She's like, oh, a bunch. Like, I remember when I was going to school, 2 kids got caught in the bathroom. What's it called? Vaping. Keep in mind, these are like 10, 9-year-olds. I was like, excuse me?
That's scary, bro.
You feel me? I was like, when I was 10 and 9, I was like, I'm trying to go outside the
Recess.
You
You know what I'm saying? Playing football.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then she was like, if you believe it or not, one of my friends, not my friends, excuse me. She said, a girl I know, her boyfriend's in 7th grade. And the girl is
Wait.
10 years old.
Wait, what's the math, bro? I haven't been in school in high school.
3 years
middle school.
apart.
Your sister 7 or 10?
My sister's 11.
So
Oh,
she's saying a 10-year-old.
Stayed in the 8th grade?
With a 3 years old older.
That's like second degree pedophilia. I swear to God. I swear to God. Tell me that.
No, honestly,
And
and
they
I
got,
was like,
they got
bro,
pedophiles in the middle school
To be
hallways.
honest-
Bro,
with you, bro.
that's second degree, bro.
to be honest with you, I have never been shocked hearing these things. Like, I'm like, wait, so what do you guys do in school at this point?
Hey,
You know? And I brought it up to some of my friends. None of them were shocked. Bro, we live in the 21st century. I was like, excuse me.
that's the excuse too. Like, we live in 21st century. We live in 2021.
You know, I'm like, okay, but that shouldn't be normal.
So
A
it's
10-year-old
normalized.
shouldn't be dating a 7th grader. First thing first, that's just completely wrong.
Or like you hear these girls, or you hear the little girls, like little, talking about relationships.
So some are proud of that, right? I don't know if I just see it in the shows, or I see it growing
No,
up.
I seen it in real life.
I see it in real life too, and you see these like, I didn't see it that young, but I
Yeah.
seen some girls in like middle school that are like boasting about dating guys in high school, like, oh yeah, like in social media, I date this guy, his name's Jackson.
Bro,
That's his random name, by the way. You go search Jackson up. But yeah, some Jackson and a junior or
so it's like
Soon enough.
like hypersexualization
yeah.
and just being so promiscuous. Like, this society, it puts that on our face. And us guys, we're inclined towards visual things. So we are susceptible to this type of stuff. And women,
We're targeted.
But here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Women are the victims of this. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the other side of it. Us guys, we're looking, we're hunting. We are, some dudes are
now
playing.
Women are not the only victims.
Okay, let me finish this, though.
To this.
So let me finish this real
Go
quick.
ahead.
So men who are being taught that operating on this low desire is
Yeah.
normal and it's healthy for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that you should be doing what you got to do. By the way, let's give you sex education and hand you these things, condoms. Muslim kids being handed in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is being facilitated. The parents don't know, but I'm sorry, y'all the youth know, and that's why y'all here.
I have a question. In all honesty,
Huh?
this is a serious question.
Okay.
At a certain age, should Muslims be educated about sex?
Okay.
We'll get back to that.
Let's get back. That's it, bro. That's
Because including like your internal desire and stuff like that. Should because I feel like we know it's bad.
you should
but
know
we're
what
not-
it is.
Yeah,
you should know how it functions.
Yeah.
You should.
But you
You never know how it functions, and because schools taught you like, oh, this is like this is what is this for. I didn't know anything until school taught me that. I'm be honest with you, I didn't.
Okay.
You know my story. I told you I used to think girls eating boiled eggs would get pregnant.
Are you serious?
Wallahi. I
Wait, at what age? At what age?
9.
Okay,
I was this innocent kid. I'm telling you that right now.
Boiled
Okay.
eggs.
I'm telling you that
Oh,
right
man.
now. No, and all like to be really
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
with you, because you talk.
I want to get back to the
internal.
point, the
Yeah,
big picture. You're
yeah.
trying to get into this spot topic, but yeah, I hear you. Muslim kids should be educated about this because we live in a society that's gonna teach them one way or another.
Yeah.
Wait, so Abdi, how'd you feel when you saw the egg cartons?
Oh, bro, it's a whole story. I'll tell you about it,
So
bro.
like, oh my god, this is all the babies. Are these my
Yeah.
brother's
Like,
siblings?
oh man,
Your mom came with the groceries. She had the eggs. Oh my god, are these my
No,
siblings?
my mom would boil eggs. I told her one day to
Yeah.
pack extra eggs for me. It's a different story.
Are you trying to get pregnant?
No, I was trying to. Different story.
Wait, you hold
Hey,
up. You said you trying to sit on
hey.
something? You trying to sit on the eggs?
No.
Huh?
Like my mom told me that
Yeah.
you have to eat a boiled egg for a girl to be pregnant.
So
A
basically,
girl.
he was clueless as to how.
How do
I
girls
understand
get
that.
pregnant?
Basically,
I thought you said you better lay
Sex
on the
education.
eggs.
No.
And do stuff.
all right, y'all, skip all that. Get back to the real talk. So men are often what they're taught is being hypersexualized and promiscuous. That's okay behavior. Matter of fact, it's facilitated. And women, the nature of the women.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care who gets mad at me, but men who are only entertaining these type of women who are promiscuous,
Yeah.
then those women are inclined to be those type of women.
Mm-hmm.
But a modest, think about it.
But then here, to be honest with you, like it goes back to the thing I said. Oh, you're not cool enough since you don't do this.
That's what I'm saying.
When it comes to a woman,
That's what's happened on their end.
Right?
It
On
happens
their end?
on their end too.
yeah. If a one woman says, "Oh, I did this with my man," oh, da da da, and then and she's like, and the person, "Oh, I've never done nothing. I've never kissed a guy." Da da da
Boom.
da. You know what I'm saying?
You get shamed on the end too.
Boom. Right. That's what you do. The question is, who do you blame for all that?
Shaitan.
Hmm?
I blame Shaitan in the lack of accountability within ourselves.
Okay.
And the lack of education and transparency between family and friends.
Okay.
Not
That
just-
one I
not-
blame.
Not just. Yes, you can blame the shaitan.
Yeah.
Blame yourself.
It's together.
Blame America.
Thank
Not
you.
just America. You blame the
Thank you.
entertainment
Okay.
industry.
Yes.
Because
Hey.
look, let me finish this point.
Muslim channel. Let's not. We don't want people twisting this wrong.
No.
Let's say.
I understand
No.
that, but
Yes.
the people need to hear this.
I'm be honest.
So look. Yes,
Don't
yes,
get me. Don't
yes,
get the
women.
FBI knocking on my
Yeah.
door.
Look, relax. Yes, women are victims,
Yeah.
but men are victims as well. They are being targeted. They like social media, like I said, is targeting dopamine.
Yeah.
Men are being targeted. When you have all these when you have all this fitness on the web entertainment industry,
Mm-hmm.
and men are committing these acts, right?
Mm-hmm.
To your brain, because what is your life? What is your goal in life? Yes, is to worship Allah,
Mm-hmm.
but biologically is to reproduce.
Of course.
So what happens when you are watching these things and you're doing these acts? Your brain is thinking you're living like a king. You're successful. You've done everything already. You don't need to do school. You don't need to do all the stuff. Like, what's the point? You're living life. That's
Mhm.
what it's thinking.
Yeah.
But when you abstain from these things,
Mhm.
not only in Islamic perspective, because you're supposed to abstain from these things,
Yeah.
things are haram for a reason. You have to understand that. When you abstain from these things,
Yeah.
your brain will tell you, "Oh man, you ain't doing enough. Go to the gym. Eat healthier.
Take
Run.
care of yourself.
You just have, like I said, men have so much potential to do things. If you abstain from these things,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised as
You
to
can
what
build-
you can do.
This is what I say. You can build empires.
Yeah.
You can move mountains. If you are able to harness your lower desires, your carnal desires, and operate from your consciousness,
Yeah.
right? Then, I mean, you can move mountains, right? Because in a society where a lot of people are doing what they want to do, and you're going upstream and you're doing it with pride.
Yeah.
People are looking at you like, whoa. Nature, this is the thing. The dunya will make way for you.
True.
Because why? Because you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your side.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Very true. Yeah.
Mhm.
So on the topic of like desire, pornography, women, a lot of these things become habits,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? And we already mentioned all these other habits that humankind have, whatever they may be. Women, they struggle with their own. Inshallah, we're gonna get more female guests, right?
Yeah.
But we're all struggling with desire, some kind of form of desire. And when we partake in these actions, guys, if you guys want to talk about the nature of habits, whether they're forming good habits or bad habits, there's a book that I recommend, which is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And what he says in the book is every action you do is a vote for the kind of person you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So as a Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
right, because we Muslims out here, let's talk from that.
Mm-hmm.
As a Muslim, no matter all the social forces, I mean, we're in America, it's our choice to be here. I mean,
Yeah.
really, we got money, you get back, you can leave when you want to.
Yeah.
But right now, you're here, you got to navigate, and there's no excuses. It's you who has to do the best you can, no matter where you are in the world.
True.
So, accountability, that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we only answer for ourselves on Judgment Day.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this a little bit, guys. When you are acting contrary to what you believe, what does that do to you? Like, because we're talking about haqq. When you act contrary, like if you know the deen says one thing,
Uh-huh.
but you're inclined to another, and you're that just became a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that do? You know what I'm saying?
I think we had a conversation about this earlier, didn't we?
We did.
If you have that internal conflict,
Yeah.
and one day you're going to the masajid,
Mm-hmm.
you're going home, and you're doing something that's contradicting your beliefs,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a very a conflict that's just gonna am I doing right to myself? Like
Yeah.
you
guilt.
constantly feel guilt, yeah.
And that guilt, it becomes overwhelming.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling you, it becomes overwhelming.
True.
And when you believe one thing, you know your deen says one thing, right?
Yeah.
And the deen, mashallah, tabarakallah, facilitates this beautiful version that you should be.
Yeah.
You know what you need to be to get to Jannah, inshallah.
Yeah.
And you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're doing these actions and you almost feel like you have to do these actions,
Yeah.
right? But what was I going to say is the fact that if you keep doing this,
Mm-hmm.
slowly that guilt, that cognitive dissonance,
Yeah.
meaning your beliefs, your attitudes
Yeah.
are disconnected from the actions that you're doing.
True.
It's so you feel disassociated from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So either your identity is going to have to change,
Yeah.
your Muslim identity is going to have to change,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to sit in hell. Meaning you're going to have to sit in that feeling.
Yeah.
And that feeling is hell.
This is
Gotcha.
the thing too. This is a powerful thing. You mentioned the conflict, right? You can be doing right by yourself.
Right.
In the times you are not, imagine you die upon that.
Closer to it a little bit.
Imagine you die upon the things you're not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
For example, this is one of the reasons I used to listen to music. I drop music, is because I remember I used to be big on music. Didn't even know. It's like, subhanallah, may Allah forgive me. And Whiskey Opia has dropped this too, because this is not only influencing your character, but imagine you are driving, you're just going where you need to be, and you are bumping to whatever.
Brainwash.
Yeah, not only is it brainwash you, but you're bumping to whatever tune you're listening to,
Mm-hmm.
and then boom, car crash. Your life is gone. What is the last thing you do? That was the last thing you did. You listen, bumping the music.
You leave how you live.
You live how you live. So imagine, that's just one example.
Yeah.
Now think of another thing you're not supposed to be doing. Like for example, you gave pornography. Think of a person that died upon watching that. Do you know how shameful that is? And the thing a lot of us fail to forget.
It's Allah's watching us.
Yeah. Just think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, they get scared, if you ain't doing this when your mom is watching in the living room or your dad is there.
But you know Allah's
Do you not know the one who created you is see everything that you do?
That's creepy.
So, subhanAllah, when you think about that, you think about the punishments. You think about dying upon this. I promise you, it's gonna be a real good wake up call. And not just that, another thing that can help you abstain from this type of things is fasting. What did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? He said, if you cannot get married young, if you don't have the means to get married young, fast. You can either fast the sunnah Monday and Thursday, or you can take the steps that I did that I need to get back onto, is fasting alternate days that really seem to help like me control my desires and lower my gaze. Is fasting every other day. Not only does it humble you, not only does it bring you closer to Allah and bring you taqwa and bring you a lot of reward, because fasting for Allah, you know how much reward that gives you?
Right.
What is the distance for the I don't know, I can't quote the exact hadith, but for every day you fast, and this you can fact check me if I'm wrong, you cut this out. For every day you fast, what's it called, 70 years, your face is taken away from the hellfire. The distance between 70 years.
And fasting is a reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He personally rewards you. It comes personally from Him. So subhanallah, it's a beautiful thing. But guys, let's dive into like.
Can I add like a little quote?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
What's it called? A little quote, like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but there's a quote that said, like, He used demons, okay? But I'm going to use habits. You invite one habit in, other bad habits are going to follow. You feel me?
It's like when you, like that quote from Atomic Habits, the more you vote, that identity becomes stronger and stronger. So the more you smoking, the more you doing zina, the more you kicking with girls, the more you bumping the music, the more you watching pornography, the more you do these things, the more you identify with them. Not only that, on a cognitive, psychological level, your neurons, neurotransmitters, it's science as well. Your neurotransmitters, those pathways are actually strengthening so much to that habit is fortified. Especially the greater the pleasure, the dopamine that's released, it's strengthened even more until the point it becomes addiction,
and
right?
Therefore, doesn't be then.
So what you
feeling right? Like if you do it constantly to the point where you do all this stuff, you're gonna get to a point where it becomes
normal. To the point where shaitan commands you. Before he's doing West. Yeah. Now it's telling him, oh, you see this girl, you feeling some type of way, boom, do that. It's like a button that just goes off. Instead of having a certain type of strength over yourself. But what I will say is that the more you abstain from this, you force yourself. Withdraw, bro. That's what it's like. It's those neurotransmitters get more and more faint. It's hard, but they get more and more faint. But soon you stop identifying with that version of you. True. And start identifying with a better version of you. True. So let's move along. Okay. Is what causes for some of us to act on desires, right, versus someone who chooses to abstain from it. What's the difference? Is one person just mashallah tabarakallah, he got something different in him, or someone else like this person just can't sum up the willpower? What is it that differentiates these two people?
Where you grow up.
So your environment.
Environment.
Fearing Allah.
And understanding why things are haram and why things are restricted for you.
When it comes to fearing Allah, okay?
Right.
When it comes to fearing Allah, for all Muslims, people who believe in God, eventually everybody fears God, because when danger comes, what's the first thing you say? Oh, God, please help me.
Yep.
Right? Everybody has that, some type of fear to God.
Yeah.
Some type, but
so then,
there's some that fear more.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. If you fear Allah, you know the punishments that come with sin that you could about to partake in.
Yeah.
Could be with what you mentioned. It could be something else.
Yeah.
If you understand, if you fear Allah, you're
and
gonna have that discipline.
I'm sorry. Can I also add on to it? Because some of those identify with that language that you used. Because we should fear of Allah, taqwa, to be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah. Some identify with a different language. It's when you're aware of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is.
Yeah.
When you know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, who He is, who He means to you, and in this universe, the respect, the awe, the love of Allah, it is so immense. Like for example, like when your parent, like you doing, like for example, you shamelessness, right?
Yeah.
You don't do it in front of your parents. You do it in the bathroom. You do it secret. Why? Because I fear my mom. You're a grown man. Your mom is 5'2". It's not because you fear a
shame.
What is it?
Shame.
It is shame. It is guilt. It is a deeper emotion. So people who hear fear, Arabic language is kind of different. We don't know enough about our faith, right? But what I will say is when you know who the magnitude of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and who he means to you. And
honestly,
well, wait, real quick. I want to finish this. So when you know that, the shamelessness that comes with that, the wanting to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and knowing that those deeds push you further from him, there's nothing that you fear greater than being further from him.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that fear of being lost, confused, misguided,
Yeah.
and not being close to Allah, that is what you're fearful of. Yes, there's a punishment. Wallahi, there's a punishment. Because why? There's no accountability without punishment.
Yeah.
There has to be something there. The punishment is there. But it's, oh my God, fire. Yes, it is a fire. Wallahi, be afraid of the fire.
True.
You don't want that. But imagine not being able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine not being able to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
Imagine being questioned.
Imagine
being questioned. Think about that.
These things that need to be talked about as well. So it's about us connecting with our faith on a deeper level, learning about who Allah is. That's the foundation you have to learn, and I need to learn every day. But with that love, you can't claim, like I said this before, you can't claim to love somebody or something without knowing the attributes, the nature to appreciate and love that thing. Sure. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit passionate about this, but I had to say that.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Like, think about it. Like, we are all going to be standing before Allah.
Yeah.
We're all going to be having to answer for what we did.
Yeah.
Excuse us, guys. If you guys do hear something in the background, there may be some background in the garage, in the parking lot around us. We're in an office site, so excuse that, inshallah.
Yeah. To go with what you were saying, to be honest with you,
not my bad.
When you talked about like shaming mom and all, like, you know, feeling shame that your mom seen you do all this stuff.
You know, I said your mom was fine too. I saw your face.
Yeah, I wanted to start dying laughing. You know,
I love them Hoyas. No disrespect.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I feel like it's more of like not disappointing your mom.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Like when the one thing that everybody hates to do is disappoint their mother. Because the disappointment of a mother, that is like you feel torn once you feel that way. You feel me? So I thought about this. I don't know. I want to say it, but I don't want to say it in the wrong way. You know? Maybe do you think it's because we've been installed into this idea of God? You know, alhamdulillah, God is forgiving.
Right.
You feel me? So do you think people do these acts and act upon their internal desires because they believe that God is going to forgive them regardless of whatever they do? 100%. Therefore,
are the people I don't know, bro. I can't speak for everybody. Have you heard that?
No, honestly, like I feel like
people take advantage of Allah's mercy. I've heard the opposite. I've heard people despairing. They're saying, "Well, I'm this deep anyway." That's the one I hear a lot. Like I'm already this deep, you know, or I'll continue, or I make Toba later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They feel like that's the same thing that goes.
That's basically the same thing.
But you can die. Like you said it. Yeah. You can die right there and there. Who's guaranteed?
Yeah, nobody. That's the thing that nobody knows when you're gonna die or not. You know what I'm saying? The only person who knows is Allah. Allah written for you when you're gonna die, when you're gonna live, when everything, you know.
Facts.
So that's the thing. I feel like when it comes to like,
here's the thing. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Think about this, right? And I'm glad you mentioned this too. It's being grateful. You know, Allah has blessed us with what? You know, I seen this one video. I don't know if it did have seen it. It was this guy does da'wah on the streets. It's like on the Muslim corner. On like I think London in the UK. Basically he goes around asking people questions. He says, okay, let me just ask you something. Okay, I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked you from this video. Abdi, if I give you $2 billion, would you say thank you?
Huh?
Excuse me?
Just go ahead, yeah. Would you say thank you?
I'll take you on a date afterwards.
Exactly. Like you would remember me. You remember me forever. You remember me forever. You'll constantly like think about like, wow, thank you. Be so grateful.
Yeah.
I'll check about you and your family. How you feel?
Be so grateful. Okay, now Abdi, if I give you the $2 billion on the condition that you give me your 2 eyes, would you still do that?
Wow.
Would you still do that?
No.
Not in a heartbeat.
So you're saying your eyes is more valuable than that?
One eye though.
This dude is breaking my whole analogy. So look.
He be walking around with an eye patch.
I'm a
You're like
billionaire.
that one guy from Agent Shield. But
Hey, let me put it. Let me do it. I'm gonna do
let me finish this. Let me
Yeah.
finish this. Let me finish it because this is very deep.
Yeah.
So you're saying that your eyes is more valuable than that $1 billion or
Yeah.
that $2 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fail to thank Allah for these things that are so significant that we take for granted.
Facts.
There's people that are blind, bro, that have no leg. And so tying back, like how we
like appreciation.
yeah, tying back like how we know Allah is the most merciful,
Yeah.
and we might continue sin because we know we're gonna ask for forgiveness later.
True.
Think about the closest companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who were
Sallallahu.
granted guaranteed Jannah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't go clubbing. They didn't persist in sin.
Mm.
What's it called?
Even
Of
the
course we
Prophet
all
himself.
of course we all sin, but they didn't persist and keep they didn't stop worshiping. They
Yeah.
kept doing.
They
They were
strengthened. They got
yeah.
stronger.
Yeah.
they were the best of examples.
But us,
So-
what we hear, you know what we hear though?
Yeah.
We hear, oh, eventually you're gonna be taken out of Jahannam.
Yeah. Oh
You're
my
a Muslim,
god.
so eventually you're gonna be taken out of Jahannam. So wait, if I do the math,
Oh my god.
I'll eventually get into Jannah. You know, that's the mindset.
Yeah,
But that
But do you
This is
know
what's west.
how long that is?
that's what's west.
That's what's us.
And you entertain that instead of saying A'udhu Billah and saying no.
I feel like people think you're gonna be in hellfire for 5 minutes.
This is the reason,
No.
Abdi. People have deduced this faith. I'm sorry to say, the little
Yeah.
I know about my faith, but what I've seen in the Somali Muslim community,
Yeah.
is people have deduced this beautiful, comprehensive deen way of life
Mhm.
to Jahannam and heaven. What? These things, yes, these are the outcomes.
Yeah.
But there is something. There's Allah for one that you need to learn about. There's so much you have to learn about, and when
Yeah.
you deduce it, just to help Jannah. Like, come on. Like, how you need to further contextualize your faith as a whole,
Yeah.
and that takes effort and that takes learning. And I also think that a lot of us have. I can only speak from what I see. A lot of us have been failed.
Yeah.
Whether it's educated by family, by friends, maybe they didn't know better,
Yeah.
but you have mercy on them because that's the best that they could. But what we have to do is try to do better for our children, for my son,
Mhm.
who's 8 months years old. I want him to know about the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want him to know about the perfect justice of Allah subhanahu wa
Oh,
ta'ala.
man.
You see what I'm saying?
I see exactly what you're saying. So look, I took this class, right? And I didn't really like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Microeconomics. Okay. It's math, it's STEM related, but look.
Micro what?
Microeconomics. I hope your
Microeconomics.
teacher, professor,
So
don't hear
look,
about it.
so
I hope
look.
you already submitted the grade.
Huh?
I hope you already submitted the grade.
Oh man, yeah. So look,
Microeconomics.
yeah, so look.
He's
This
trying to get into business.
so listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay?
Mhm.
So he teaches how, like in a normal product, say a price increases, right? There's high demand. There's a high demand in the product. Say these glasses, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants these glasses, but there's a limited supply. So what they do to reach the equilibrium, they increase the price. So there's a high demand, there's a high price. So now they reach the equilibrium, and now because there's a high price
Not a lot of
and
people
not
buy
as much
them.
people want it, it's an equilibrium now, right? Same concept with life. It's my theory and that I'm thinking that things will get so bad
Mhm.
Right.
that people will start to realize, okay, yeah, we are not going towards the right direction. And like I just mentioned, the next generation, we seen where we're going wrong.
Yeah.
We see where people are going wrong. So now, inshallah, we get to translate that to raising our kids better, to
Yeah.
bring them a better upbringing, and then they can translate that further, and that we can become reach that equilibrium.
Mhm.
Yeah. I should make that a damn. I should make my own equilibrium theory. What should I call it?
I heard
J
everything
equilibrium.
you said. I heard
Equilibrium.
Hey,
Equilibrium.
put that in the dictionary. What were you gonna say,
Okay.
Abdi?
I heard everything you said and I agree with you a lot, you know?
Okay.
My brain still can't pass micro I don't even know what you
Oh,
just
man.
said.
But yeah, I hear what you
Did-
say. It's
did-
like the natural.
Yeah, but you know what
Yeah.
it sounds like to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not really a businessman. What'd you say?
Microeconomics.
Microeconomics.
Yeah.
First thing, that sounds like something you talk about, little
Yeah.
economics.
There you
That's
go.
basically what it is.
You learn everything about economics, like the bite size. You're going about the little
There's
details.
macro. I believe there's macro. I took macroeconomics.
I don't even know what macro is. I think that's like the big scale.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
Hey, I feel y'all on that. But guys, I
Schools.
mean, we're 58 minutes in. I
Yeah.
hope y'all still tuning in, inshallah. But, but yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
I mean,
powerful topic.
we talking that truth. But I mean, I don't know if we already did this test, but like, if you were to advise your former self,
Oh.
whether it was yesterday or
Okay.
whether it was 15, 14, 11-year-old you,
Yes.
what if you had a sentence or two to say regarding this topic of internal wars, desires? What would you say?
I wouldn't say nothing to myself.
Mm.
I would let myself be because it made me who I am. Just letting you know, it made me who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I've grown up so much from everything I went through. I've learned a lot about myself. I'm also still learning.
Facts.
And at the same time, one thing you gotta understand is if I were to go back and tell myself, that would mean that I would know right from wrong. So that means that would make me successful in everything that I try to do. You feel me? And therefore, I never learn. So what is the point of, you have to fail for you to learn.
Right.
You feel me? So
you're saying if you told yourself back then, how would you know you're the same person
yeah,
now?
For the camera, Javon.
like I know for a fact I wouldn't be the same Abdi Karim. I don't even think I would meet you, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
I don't know if I would ever
Go tear up,
translate.
man. Go tear up, man.
But honestly though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, do you think if you told yourself everything, do you think you would have met me?
One sentence. He said one sentence.
You probably wouldn't.
You feel me?
You probably wouldn't. No, and why? And why? You know, why
Yeah.
would you? And it sounded like you explained.
Was it
Yeah.
one sentence or two sentences? Like
It could
or
be
like-
anything.
I'm
If
just,
you
I
were to
really,
go
I just
back-
did it just sound interesting, you know. But
Yeah.
you know, but don't take it too hard. But yeah, bro, it's straight up. You know,
Would you?
I didn't even think about this question when I wrote it, wallahi, but I love what you brought up because and this also shows you qadr of Allah, like the
Yeah.
divine permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
True.
He allows you to make some mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? But he allows you to come back and learn from them and seek forgiveness from him.
Yeah.
And then correct your path so you don't make those same
Yeah.
mistakes. So I think in terms of advice, I think I would just say, Idris, never despair in the mercy of Allah. Never despair in the mercy of Allah. When you
Nah.
fall, get up.
You're right. When you fall, get up. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I was.
And and why? Like if I was to say and why, right?
Yeah.
Why would I tell myself? It's
Yeah.
because I think that guilt, because I lived that life. Alhamdulillah, I never went too deep. But definitely, I mean, I've seen some things in the world, guys. And
True.
as a young brother living, born and raised out here, alhamdulillah, I'm so, so grateful that I met the people that I have in my life. Wonderful, gorgeous souls who have shown me so much. And have brought me near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
Who has introduced me formally to Allah subhanahu
Yeah.
wa ta'ala. You know, in a way that I've never have. And I think those mistakes,
Yeah.
it made me do this podcast.
You feel me? Exactly.
Yeah, so
honest.
I hear you. I would never change them,
Yeah.
but I would just tell myself like do
if-
not despair.
If you went back in time and told yourself,
Keep
2021
coming back.
Idris, you're gonna be doing what's it called, podcast, or just know you're gonna meet what's it called in high school, your senior junior year, you're gonna meet a guy named Abdi. You guys are gonna be really good friends. Or you're gonna move to Seattle, back to Seattle, or you're gonna go visit California. Or
Wallahi, that's the thing. Wallahi, this is what I said in I posted on my Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, this life. If you reflect on your life,
Yeah.
it's a deadly movie. Like, anytime your life reaches some turbulence,
True.
I'm talking from experience right now.
Uh-huh.
Anytime your life reaches some turbulence, it's easy to keep your head down and start mourning or whatever.
Yeah.
But really, that's when the plot is thickening.
True.
Realize it. Every movie, even the good stories have drama in it.
True.
It's when he's down bad, and then he transforms into something later. So I hear what you're talking about. Those struggles, they make you better. So don't despair in the mercy of Allah, but rather be optimistic
Yeah.
in those obstacles. You feel me? Jibril, you have something to say on
Yeah,
that?
you guys both brought up some big points. Like Abdi mentioned it, like how you feared if he told himself something, would he be the same person he is today?
Yeah.
It did just mention, do not despairing in the mercy of Allah. And I thought about the same thing too. SubhanAllah. Also, for me, I would tell myself, taking that into account too, I would probably tell myself to get out of my comfort zone at a young age. Because I feel like at that young age, or like in kind of middle school and early into high school, I was not only in a cocoon of like being in my comfort zone, I had the desire to stay within my comfort.
True.
And people don't fail to realize is through, bad things that's happening, like life struggles, sometimes sinning. You have to, like, some people realize that, like, from sinning too.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you learn from these things and you become a better person.
Yeah.
Facts.
Now, I'm not saying, sin and learn and become a better person.
Yeah.
You should know now that you should become better.
It's the intention.
It's the intention.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So-
it's all the intention. I'm sorry to cut you. I really want to say this. Like, yeah, we can say, yeah, you learn from those.
Yeah.
But in the moment, you're not thinking like that. Yeah, I'm gonna learn from this.
True.
I'm gonna learn from. No, you hear it? Like, I'm gonna learn from this. How I'm doing. No, you're not. That's not the mindset. You're doing it just because you're gonna do it. But right now, hindsight's 2020. You feel me? So what you do though is the intention in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It should be different. Let's just say that. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Hindsight's all 2020. But like as your present, like forgive your former self.
Yeah.
But make tawbah and know that inshallah He will forgive you. Make that sincere dua with the sincere that you're not going to go back and actually try your hardest.
Exactly.
Don't make tawbah with the back of your mind like, I'm finna make this move. I'm about to do this. Yeah, I'm about to smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm about to do that after this.
It has
I know
to
I'm
be
making
sincere.
this dua. It has
Chill.
to be sincere.
Exactly.
And that sincerity comes from slipping.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So value
Yeah.
the struggle.
True.
Value the and we all struggling.
Guess what? There is beauty in the struggle.
Facts.
Like I told myself, subhanAllah, like a lot of people are thinking about this too. It's like getting married early to abstain from these desires. And
Akhi, you're gonna make this thing 45 minutes
I'm not.
longer.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try. I'm gonna try and make it as short as possible. I'm just gonna talk about my own
Go
personal
ahead, do your
experience, right?
thing,
Yeah.
bro. Do your thing.
I like at a young age, right? Like we all have these desires, right? And we think that like, if we get married, we're no longer gonna have these desires.
True.
And what's it called? And in many cases, that's true if you have the means for it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, fast those alternate days. Fast those alternate days, because if you choose these other outlets,
Mm-hmm.
these are the most self-destructive things you could do to yourself.
And don't, like, guys, I'm gonna even say this as top of it. Like, we can talk about what it does to you spiritually. Like that, it's the most intimate thing you could do in terms of zina, right? And whatever the low
Pulls you away.
desire. Oh my God, it makes you disconnected. Your iman it's gone when you're doing that type of stuff. But the thing is,
invite shaitan.
shaitan, you disconnected with yourself, with your Islam, bro. It happens to a lot
That's
of people.
when he's the strongest. I heard when you're
Yep.
disconnected from Allah. That's when he's the strongest, where he whispers in your ears and you start to think, oh yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Mm.
You feel me?
I said, bro, if you can tame that in you, if
Yeah.
you can tame the low desire, man, you can move mountains.
True.
You could really make some great things in this world.
Mm.
Those brothers you celibate right now, you don't have access. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. If you can handle that, you can handle everything in life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You operate from here. This is what you need to operate. You operate from here and you operate from here. And when you do that, all things are possible with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You feel me?
Exactly.
But guys, let's end with two things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do a two for one because we're already an hour,
Okay.
right? But the two questions: how are you holding up against your own internal battles? That's one, right? You don't have to get too personal, but because we also supposed to have haya in our personal,
Of
we
course.
shouldn't disclose our sins.
Yeah.
But and also, how can we optimize for success in these internal wars? Meaning, how can we do what we can to better equip ourselves against these battles?
Okay. So what do we talked about this in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
First, we talked about social media. You have pornography. You have what else did we mention?
Drugs. Eating.
So
Whole lot, anything you could self-destructive
so-
desire, anything. You
just-
guys may have something we didn't even mention.
okay. I'm hopefully this is a one shoe fits all. Okay. I'm gonna try to give a solution for all of them. All right. And most of them come from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So,
Fast. If you can't get married at a young age, fast. Not only that, try your best to fall within the limits of what Allah has gave you. Things are haram for a reason. Haram for a reason. Allah has supreme knowledge of all things. He knows what is right for us, and He knows what is bad for us. In society, we are gradually understanding why these things are bad for us, And so, what's it called? Understand that Allah has supreme knowledge. Fear Allah. Fear Allah. And fast. Fast when you can. Try to fast alternate days. And, make dua. And then, inshallah, just know that, everybody makes mistakes.
Right.
Try to have discipline. And inshallah, things will get good.
How about you, buddy? Oh, but you missed one. How are you holding up against your own internal battles?
Oh, yeah. This is the same advice I was given. I try to fast, what's it called? Screen time is one big thing. I realize that like I be wasting a lot of time. What's it called? Discipline. I don't know if I mentioned this in this podcast, but what's it called? Doing things that your brain is like, okay, relax. Building like taking a cold shower. Taking a cold shower, for example. Waking up early. Your brain is like, okay, nah, what are you doing? If you do that, you're going to naturally like have more control.
You're gonna be okay with the displeasure.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have more control over things that you thought you would not have control over. So yeah.
Or you're okay with being uncomfortable. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
a lot of the cold shower is mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, why you making that face? Like, clear that throat. What's up? What's the problem?
I'm gonna tell you straight up. This is how I deal with my internal struggles.
Yeah.
All
Hey,
right?
get your notes and your pens out. This dude feel like he about to speak some bars right now.
I'm not. It ain't bars. It's just keeping it.
Keeping it 100. Hey, Haqq. Y'all see it on the board. I tried the best handwriting. I'm not known for my handwriting.
You feel me? But to be honest with you, the way I deal with my internal struggles, right? Let's say I have a struggle of anything, right? First thing first, I ask myself, do I need it? And why is this that thing so important to me right now? And why do I, asking myself that. Second thing, when I do it, why, what's it called? What are the consequences of me doing that? You feel me? Not a lot of people think about that. They just think if I do it.
I like how you're deducing it to something very logical in that sense.
You feel me?
Like, why are you doing something? And what is the outcome of me doing that thing?
You
Okay,
feel me?
keep going about that.
What's the outcome of me doing that? And if I do it, will I continue to do it? You feel me?
Right.
So me, I ask those questions to myself. And whether I act upon it or not, no one's perfect, okay? That's me being honest with you. No one's
Or
perfect.
mankind.
You feel me? So, honestly, I've grown up and dealt with a lot of my, habits that are bad.
Right.
Right? But to be honest with you, the one thing that I did was reflect myself and ask myself, is this pleasing God? And if God were really to take me out this earth right now, how would I look into his eyes? For me, how can I look to Allah, the one whom brought me to this world to worship him, the one who gave me life,
gave you your loved ones,
gave me all my experiences, to guide me the right way, even if I thought that
I feel that, bro.
You feel me? Even if I thought that going the wrong way was right, he still gave me that option. Hey, maybe the right side is better for you. You feel me? So all those things, I ask myself that. And in all honesty, when I ask myself that, whether the outcome of the jinn winning or holding myself strong enough to be like, I'm not, the one thing that I always say is, and to be honest with you, the one thing I always tell myself is, when you do that thing, or if I don't do it, make sure at the end of the day, you thank God for either taking you away from that situation or making you learn from that situation.
That's deep.
That is all I'm going to say.
That's powerful, bro. That's powerful. Wow.
Hey, Dennis, what's the knowledge you better drop on us?
Man, where do I start? Wallahi, I feel like you guys all said some beautiful things, and I don't want to reiterate too much on what you guys said, but I think I'm just going to try to come at this from a different angle if I could. But what I'm going to say is I love how you mentioned, like, how can I look towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with these, right? When you said that, and you came up with some real tangible solutions about how can we optimize, right, in terms of fasting and all that, and dua, which is that's the believer's weapon.
Yeah.
So dua, that should be your go-to, guys. That's my number one. When you're struggling with something, Ya Allah, you created me, and you know I am weak. Ya Allah, you know me more than anyone knows me. Ya Allah, you know me better than myself. You know my weakness and you know my strength. Ya Allah, this is my weakness. Oh Allah, give me strength where there is weakness, Ya Allah. I do not want to wrong you, Ya Allah. So guide me upon that which is right. Draw me nearer to you. I don't want to be further. But that comes with sincerity.
Yeah.
You have to want that. So dua. Build a relationship with Allah through dua.
Speaking of dua, let me just add one dua to it. Because we were talking about this a lot, like dying upon sin. make sure you add this to your diet too, because this is very powerful. Is asking Allah, Ya Allah, allow me to die when you are most pleased with me. You see his videos, people dying in sujood and stuff like that. I wish that was me. Like that is.
Inshallah, that will be all of us.
Yeah. So.
And
so
also,
go ahead, brother.
Your heart, make sure it's pure.
That's the thing. And wallah, that's the hardest thing to do, because there's constantly filth being thrown at it. And also, there's a lot of things I can say about this, bro. But what I, to keep it nice and sweet and concise, is call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. You need help. You're not you're not supposed to be doing this by yourself, guys.
True.
It's Ilahi that's gonna actually do it. Okay? It's not you.
Yeah.
It's Allah. You get through Jannah through his mercy.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is drop the ego. That's what you got to do. Drop the ego. Drop the inflated self. Drop the self-amazement. These are things that Iblis couldn't do himself. And he was very righteous at a time. He was extremely righteous at a time. But he had diseases within his heart in which he transgressed like no other person has ever transgressed. So when you see those tendencies in you, seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than becoming arrogant and turning away, because that's not a trait from Adam alayhi salam. That's a trait from shaitan. So I will say that. And what I also will say in terms of optimizing for success is do the best that you can and learn from your mistakes. Reflect. Don't be consumed. We talked about who you surround yourself. Take a moment of silence. Listen to the voice coming from within. That voice will give you answers. And in terms of how am I holding against my own internal battles, right? As a man, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, because we all men right here. We all struggling. But let me tell you something. There is no excuse. No, people say you're perfect the way you are. Let me tell you something.
Try to be the best version of yourself.
Get right.
Yeah.
Get right. This is the thing, guys. Like, we live in a fluff society nowadays. Get right. Take care of your physical, your mental, your spiritual. When people are not doing right by you, you gotta let them go, because you are all you have. At the end of the day, you only answer for yourself. So get right. And wallahi, get near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and live the potential that you ought to live. You need to do that. And your desires, like I said, there's two versions of yourself. Like for me, I have a version of myself. I have this guy right here who is not right. I have a vision. I'm not even describing him. He's not good looking. Then you got and he's doing everything he wants to do, and everything everyone else is doing. That is not me, and that's not where I'm at right now, alhamdulillah. Then I got this amazing guy I look up to, wallahi, in the back of my head. It's kind of weird. A guy who I see educated, close to Allah. All these things. I don't want to disclose my ambitions, but he's so many things. And I look up to him, and I'm now nowhere near that. But I want to get there. And this guy, I can become like that. Because I just act on what I want to do. But this guy, I have to sacrifice. And guys, this dunya is not Jannah. So don't expect Jannah on earth. Be willing to sacrifice.
Have you seen that image? Like, I'm glad you mentioned that, how you, like, the best version of yourself or the worst version of yourself. I seen this one image one of my cousins posted about this guy climbing a ladder. It's easy to climb a ladder to success or to become the best version of yourself. But it's much easier and much faster to fall. So stay close, stay on that ladder, and stay on that straight path of Allah, and cling tight to your deen and who you are.
Cling tight. Because like the Prophet Muhammad said, one of the signs in the end of the world is going to be the fact that there will come a time where holding on to your deen will be like holding on to a burning coal. And right now you see people letting go of their deen, letting go of their hijab, letting go of their salah for what? Work. Letting go of everything for what?
And why is that? It's like you mentioned earlier. Is where you have this internal conflict. If you're persisting in this sin, and you're a Muslim and you're supposed to doing this, it's gonna have an internal conflict. And if it gets so bad that you might eventually drop your belief. So So you wanna add on to that?
Yeah, I just want to say, guys, a lot of us like this. I heard somebody say this to me, someone a long time ago. This person said, "How do I know if I'm a good person?" Right? How do I know if I'm a good person, or I'm a bad person, or this, like, so many negative views about who they are, and it hurt because once you start identifying with negative thoughts about yourself, your actions translate into that. Your thoughts translate into action. So stop identifying with where you're at right now. Stop. Just because you prayed, you're not righteous. Stop. The end goal is what matters. We don't know where we're going to die. All I know is you got to be on guard 24/7. That goal of where you need to be should be so high, because that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you best believe you're not going to reach that anytime soon. You're not there right now just because you prayed 5 times a day. You read Quran. No. That is a battle that's constant. You're constantly molding yourself with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't, just because maybe if you're at that person that talk about the negative, maybe you're the worst version that you think right now, like I'm down bad, I can't get worse than this, and that guy is so far I can't even get, so I'm gonna just stay where I'm at. No, stop identifying with that. You're just there right now. But you can always start making steps ahead towards that better version of yourself, and I want y'all to do that, inshallah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, you talked about just because you pray 5 times a day or you read Quran,
Right.
like you're not guaranteed Jannah.
You're not guaranteed Jannah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do people, like, those things are expected of you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why would you think, just like, if I expect you to do something, like, do you expect to get something out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's those other little things.
I think what we just got to do is just hope the best when
True.
it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful, and He loves us, and when He sees us doing righteous things without having seen Him, right? And you believe Him and you worship Him, you hope the best in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that's naturally supposed to be in your intention. You're not praying, just because your mom is watching. No, you're praying because
Allah.
You want to seek the reward. Not only do you fear Allah, but you seek His reward. Like, do you know, if we knew how valuable each salat is, even sunnah, how valuable it is. If somebody told you, and I always think about this, if someone told you, if you pray 2 raka'ah, you will get a Lamborghini, or 2 raka'ah, you're going to get a mansion, you would rush.
But how many people in the grave right now, they would do anything for 2 rak'ahs?
Yeah, no, you would rush to do that. Think about this. Each salat is way more valuable than anything on this earth.
Right.
Anything on this earth that you can obtain is way more valuable than that.
You know what's crazy? Allah will give you everything you want just to distract you.
Like what do you mean by that?
Like let's say, like the rich people, you give them money, cars, women, all that stuff. Boom, you're getting it, but He distracts you from your main purpose to worship Him.
I don't think it's Allah distracting them. I think Allah, He made everything clear.
It's
the shaitan that's distracting them.
Allah will give you tests.
Allah will allow you to do what you want to do.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I know. I know what you meant. I just want to make it known.
You know, like, it's like the shaitan in your ears making you forget Him. Even though He's granting you all this,
right,
you still wasn't thankful, and you still wasn't worshiping Him for allowing you to, first and first, give you life. On top of that, give you wealth and healthiness and everything that you have. But you still forget about the man who did all this for you.
Exactly.
You feel me?
So, man, we went 1 minute and an hour and 21 minutes.
Before we end, this is something I want to start. Right?
What's that?
So, it's I'm asking you 2 questions. All right.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna start with you.
I'm interested.
All right.
Me too.
And I want to start ending it this way.
Okay.
All right. From scale of 1 to 10, mentally, how are you?
I would say, mentally, how am I?
Yeah.
I'll say I'm about an 8.
8.
Yeah.
What about physically?
Physically, I would say about a 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I felt like I was watching this podcast.
Yeah.
And every time they always end on wanting to know where a person, like, especially the people who are close to me, you know what I'm saying? Knowing where they are mentally and physically.
That's beautiful.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's
maybe
like,
we can add spiritually.
Yeah, and spiritually, where are you at?
Spiritually, man, I can't give a number to that. Because I always want to. There's always something more you can do.
Facts.
Some people they can do the bare minimum. Think, I'm a 10. Pray 5 times. I'm a 10.
That's everybody when they first start practicing.
But subhanAllah, where you always want to have the mindset, you don't put a number to it.
Facts.
You want to have the mindset, I could always do better.
Alhamdulillah. That's all I can say for that.
Facts.
You feel me? What about you, man?
Bro,
Mentally.
subhanAllah. Mentally, man, I would say 8.
8?
Yeah, bro. I'm in a much like I feel like I had a lot going on in terms of just being pulled one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a lot of moments of silence, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just deep reflection. And Jabril knows I read with my Kindle. I
Yeah.
reflect in the nighttime. And that's me, introspection.
Yeah.
And just cultivating my mental health. So alhamdulillah, bro, I would say 8.
8?
I would say 8. No,
Physically?
Physically, so I've been actually I'm not gonna really disclose. Maybe hopefully you guys start noticing it more and more on the podcast. But I'm definitely taking hold of my physical health for the past 3 months, and I've been feeling amazing. I've been eating right. I've been working out more. So alhamdulillah, I would say. Well, did I even throw a number yet?
No.
I would say a 7.
7?
Cause bro, where I was a 4. You know, and how I felt in my body. So, because I was cultivating my mental. My mental and whatever, and my spiritual, but I wasn't really cultivating my physical. So alhamdulillah, now I'm more like a 7.
Okay.
And man, I'm trying to get a 9, 10 by the summertime. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When we go fishing, you know what I'm saying?
sir.
Hey, with the kayak, hey, it's gonna make it happen. I'm gonna have to walk around with these shades too. Y'all gonna see
Yes,
it.
sir. You
But-
feel me?
And spiritually, alhamdulillah, you know, like this is one thing that I'm trying to work on. And I'm just saying this to be vulnerable, but also that you guys think about. Like one thing I'm working on in my salah
Mm-hmm.
is avoiding making it so much of a routine, because when you practice after a certain amount of time, salah becomes very mechanical. So what I want to get down, for one, inshallah, learning Arabic, which I need to get back on, inshallah, is because that you can, when you every word that you speak in the salah,
Yeah.
you're forced to feel it more.
Yeah.
When you don't know it, you just have to maybe learn the English translation or just really think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ponder.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm also like, I don't want to put a number like Jabril.
Yeah.
Let's hold off on numbers.
Yeah.
Spiritual, let's just give a description.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
So we all got growth and journey to do.
Yeah,
you know.
true.
So may Allah guide all of us.
I mean,
How about you, my brother? You came with the question. How you doing?
sir. You know, I'm honest, mentally, alhamdulillah, like where I was a year ago,
Right.
and then now, to be honest with you, I'm at a high 8, 9.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, mentally,
I'm glad, bro. I'm glad.
you know, physically, I'm gonna say the same. You know, I'm at like a 6.
Got
You know, there, like he said, you know, I'm trying to be, you know what I'm saying, muscular,
There you go.
you know, and better in shape and control my eating habits. That's
Mm.
one thing that I feel like I want to
That's
start
these
controlling
topics
myself.
we gotta have to talk about.
Yeah,
That's big
you know?
topics.
Spiritually, I'm be honest with you, there's always room to improve.
Mm.
So I can never put my spirituality at a number, because there's always something that you can do to improve yourself in that aspect.
I feel you.
So all I can say is alhamdulillah. That is all, man.
Alhamdulillah. All right. So that was a beautiful episode. Now I really want to end this with takeaways. Y'all have takeaways, closing statements. Everyone go ahead, take your 30 seconds.
Oh man. You guys wanna go first? I want to
Yeah, sure. I mean, for me, what I would say is that, wallahi, I love you guys for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Real love.
I feel you guys. I'm talking to y'all from my heart. I'm talking my haqq. I am struggling. I know y'all struggling too. And we all struggling. That is the nature of mankind. But we're here for each other. We're here to support each other. And just know that your highest version of yourself, it is attainable for you as long as you're alive. Start walking towards that path. And may Allah guide you. And may Allah keep you upright. And may Allah guide us. And may Allah keep us upright. And if you guys can make dua for us, wallahi, we need it.
I mean,
Well, mine's gonna be nice, you know, short and sweet. One thing I must tell you guys: there is beauty in the struggle, and ugly in the success. Feel me?
this guy's going J. Cole on us.
Yes, sir. You feel me? But
Did
when
J. Cole say that? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
I
Oh.
remember
But
that.
then when I say ugly in the success, you feel me? Like
It's facts though.
when I say ugly in the success, meaning it is hard to be success. To be success.
It's
at
a
something.
bloody trail leading up to
You
success.
feel me? You're
Yeah.
walking, like he said, in a dark hole. You don't see nothing.
The plot is thickening, baby.
You
That's
feel
what
me?
that's what it's doing. The
There
plot
you
is
go.
when you think it's turbulent, nah.
It ain't.
The plot is thickening.
You might have human-sized mouse traps you might fall into. You don't even know. To be honest. You know what I'm saying? That dark hole.
Where does he get this from? Y'all ask me.
I don't know. You know, it's my brain. It thinks for its own. But hey, I'm telling you that right now.
This is what we love,
honestly,
Abdi.
also one thing, be healthy, have a very pure heart, stay true to yourself. And if you ever feel like you need to get away from certain things that's causing you to have internal battles with yourself, get away from it, make dua, and most important thing, I love you and you're a beautiful person.
For that.
Man, I'm gonna just leave off with what everybody else said. Subhanallah, just understand that you have so much to offer. You can do anything you put your mind to. I know it sounds cliche, but subhanallah, whatever you have in your mind, like who you are in your mind is actually what comes out to be. If you think positive, everything will be positive, inshallah. So have that always positive mindset, and what's it called? Always try to be the best version of yourself. I can't stress that enough. You know, never think that you're a 10 in all categories. Always understand that you have room to improve on in everything. You know, nobody's perfect. We're human. Right. So just try to be the best version of yourself. You know, I love you guys too. We all struggling together, and you know, may Allah make it easy on all of us.
I mean, dab me up, brother. Dab me up. Hey,
this is a beautiful episode, man.
Beautiful, alhamdulillah. And wallahi, if you guys benefited, I'm so glad. Just make dua for us, inshallah. And may Allah keep us all upright, because wallahi, this is you never know when you will turn on your heels. You never know. There's so much pressure. So, but may Allah keep us steadfast and keep us upright, because wallahi, we need those du'as, man. This is tough out here. But inshallah, thank y'all for tuning into this episode. I'm going to tell y'all, we trying to be consistent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We trying to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to bring you guys value, inshallah. And look, I may or may not be doing a blog for this episode. If I do, you guys will see it. I'm trying to tap into the writing a little bit. So check out the website, talkyahaqq.com, for episode links and maybe a little bit description and maybe even a blog. And inshallah, just email us if you guys have any input at contact@talkyahaqq.com. If you want to be featured, come through.
Facts.
Just email us what topic you would like discussed that you want. A Talk Ya Haqq, a topic. Some people say they want to be on the episode, but I want to feel you when you tell me what you want to talk about. Then come through. This is your platform. This is not mine. This is for the people. So email us at contact@talkyahaqq.com or DM us at Talk Ya Haqq or my main Insta.
Or you can hit me up too as well.
And look, we want more sisters, by the way. We're trying to get a sister on this podcast, inshallah. Hit us up with the topic that you want, and we're going to do a virtual, inshallah. So let us know. All you have to do is have your headphones, and boom, we'll make it happen. All right, y'all, inshallah. Any last statements before we bounce out?
Mind them do things.
That's it.
I don't know if I said it right.
Appreciate you guys, fam.
Love you guys. Hey. Mind them do these things.
Okay, but you're not from the UK, bro. Not. All right, y'all, we're gonna bounce. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.